Clippers and Rockets are putting on one hell of a show in the Western Conference right now, and here to share his Game 7 picks is our very own Dave Golikoff. Now, Dave, I thought the Clippers had Game 6 in the bag last night, but a late surge from Houston, with Harden on the bench no less, proved me wrong and sent this series to a Game 7. What happened to the Clips in the fourth quarter last night, and what do they need to change going into Houston on Sunday?
Well, if you ask me, I think it was just fatigue. I mean, this team was up by 18, 19, whatever it was in the third quarter, and then they took their foot off the gas. Really, they couldn't hit a shot for the life of them in the fourth quarter. But I think fatigue is a big factor because they kind of got a little bit complacent both ends of the floor. Their defense obviously let them down, but defense hasn't really been a strength for them this season. It has at times. But really their offense just completely going into the tank in the fourth quarter. Blake Griffin couldn't do anything. Chris Paul was really the only guy who could get anything done offensively. Matt Barnes couldn't hit an open jumper. Jamal Crawford was horrible. Even Redick. DeAndre Jordan not a factor at all in terms of offense. So they just completely went into a shell in the fourth quarter. And I think it was fatigue. Remember, this team went 7 games with the Spurs. They played a lot of minutes in terms of riding Griffin, riding, Paul and stuff. So I think it was just a matter of they were tired. They thought Houston would quit. Houston didn't. And, really fatigue to me was the big factor. Now going into Sunday, the good news for the Clippers is there's 2 days off. This whole series has been 1 day off, 1 day off, 1 day off. Now there's 2 days off in between games, but my God, do they have to pick themselves up off the mat after blowing that type of a win, essentially. They had it.
Absolutely, Dave. Now, we touched on the Rockets' epic rally last night. Now, not only did they pull out the win, but they won by 12 after trailing by 19 in the third, which is really impressive to me. Now, I've always thought that Josh Smith was a real baller. He's had his ups and downs since leaving Atlanta, but last night, he really impressed me. Now, his stat line doesn't jump off the board, but he looked really, really good in those 25 minutes of work last night. He was pressuring on both ends, and I really think he was the heart of Houston's win. What do the Rockets need to do on Sunday to knock off these Clips, Dave?
Well, they need to play more of the way they did down the stretch. I don't know what to make of this Rockets team. They're so unpredictable. They make this crazy run with James Harden on the bench. The first half they played so well. They were in the game, and then all of a sudden they go into a tank in the third quarter, only to come back in the fourth quarter with a vengeance with Harden on the bench. And then you got Josh Smith hitting all sorts of clutch threes, Corey Brewer leading the way. I don't even know what to make of this. I think realistically, I kind of got to stick with my original pick, which was the Clippers to win the series. But at this point, I don't know. The Rockets have a lot of momentum. You mentioned Josh Smith. The turnaround in this series has potentially been, or partially been, Smith coming into the starting lineup for Terrence Jones. Jones still gives them some pop off the bench, but Smith creates a little bit of a matchup problem. He's still a good defender at the 4. He's a little bit more athletic in terms of running the court than Jones. I really hate to put all of this on Josh Smith really entering the lineup, but he's a catalyst. It's a really tough game to handicap, to be honest with you.
I agree. Now, like you said, you like the Clips to pull this one out. A little less confident than you were maybe last night. I feel the same way. So what are you taking in this Game 7, Dave? What's your play?
Oh, God, I'd rather not pick anything, to be honest with you. I don't know what to make of this. You watch these games, and the Clippers are just rolling them. They've been dominant throughout most of the series. Game 1 without Paul. Game 2 nearly winning it without Paul again when Houston desperately needed that game. Game 3, they rolled them. Game 4, they crushed them again. Game 5, okay, you figure they give it up because, what's the big deal? Houston's got their backs up against the wall. It's going to be their best punch and best punch thrown, and they're just trying to stave off elimination. And then Game 6, the Clippers did mostly everything right. They were up by 18 and then allow the Rockets to come roaring back. But now when you start to piece things together, the Rockets have won 2 straight, have all the momentum. They have home court advantage. They seem to have figured out this Clippers team. The Clippers look fatigued. Harden was dealing with the flu the last 2 games. Now he's healthy, or he should be healthy for Sunday. I don't know. I do have the Clippers on the series, but maybe I'm hedging my bets here. I think the Rockets probably pull this out. I don't know. I see the Clippers. I see their toughness. I think that mentally they're supposedly tougher than they were in previous years. They went into San Antonio and stole a couple of impressive games, beat them in a 7-game series, beat the champs in 7 games, when many times we thought they were done in that series. So mentally they should be tough enough to pull this out. But right now the Rockets have a lot of momentum. They're at home. They're a dog. There's just a lot of attractive things to like about them in this spot. So I'm going to kind of hedge my bets here and take the Rockets. I think it's a really tough game to call. You can see that the Clippers are favored on the road even after that catastrophic collapse. So, I mean, it's a really tough game to handicap. If you don't really have a vested interest in this, I'd probably just enjoy this on Sunday afternoon and not really try to find an edge. But this is what we do here. We try to give you an edge. And those are my thoughts on the game. Hopefully it helped, but I know I'm kind of wavering on both sides here.
Thanks, Dave, for that expert advice. And remember, keep it locked right here for all your NBA playoff picks and predictions.